So let's say I have 15 cookies and I want to make 4 bags, equal groups of cookies. I want the same number of cookies in each bag. Well, if I take those 15 cookies and I divide them into 4 equal groups, let's see what would happen. So let's say I have, here's my cookies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I am going to have 4 equal groups. So I'm going to have my first bag. There's one. Ooh, not a great bag there. Sorry about that. There's one. There's my second bag. There's my third bag. And there's my fourth bag. And just a reminder, this is in red, so you do want to write this down in your notes. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put 1 cookie in each bag until I don't have enough cookies to keep the numbers equal. So first I'm going to put 1 here, and then I'm going to put 1 here, and then here, and then here. So currently I have 1 cookie in each bag. Now I'm going to start over. There, 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 there. That's 2 cookies in each bag. I'm going to start over. There, 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 and there. And then I only have 1, 2, 3 cookies left. So I can't start over because I don't have enough to keep my groups equal. So in other words, if I have 15 cookies and I'm splitting them into, I'm putting them in 4 bags, and I want equal numbers in my bags, each bag is going to have 4 cookies, but then I will have 3 cookies left over. So 3 will be my remainder if I want to divide 15 by 4. So here I have 15 cookies and I want 5 equal bags. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But I want 5 bags. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 bags, so 1 in each bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 2 in each bag here. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have enough to put 3 in each bag. So if I have 15 cookies and I'm making 5 equal bags, so I have 5 groups, then I will have 3 cookies in each bag with none left over. And so what this demonstrates is the inverse operations, because 5 times 3 is 15. But if I have 15 and I divide by 3, I get 5. If I have 15 and divide by 5, I get 3. So I can look at this family of numbers, this fact family, in 3 different ways. Okay, so you're going to want to write down everything in this example, and it's going to be written in red, so you should be reminded to write it down. The problem we are going to be working with is 10,404 divided by 51. So it's very important that in our setup of the problem, we put the numbers in the correct spots. Well, 10,404 is our dividend. It is what we are dividing up or splitting up into groups. So that goes in our division box. And 51 is our divisor. It is what we are using to split up our dividend. It is how many groups we are making, or it's how many in each group. So that goes outside the box. So partial quotients works with mental math and knowing your times tables. So this is still division. It's still showing repeated subtraction. It's just chunking it together. So this is really like chunk division. And I know that multiplying anything times 100 gives me 100 of that. So I know 51 times 100 is going to give me 5100. So if I say that I know I can make at least 100 groups with 51 in each group, then that tells me that I'm going to use 5100 of my 10,404. And once I do that, I'm left with 5,304 to keep splitting in or keep putting into my groups or to make groups of. Well, I know that 100 times 51 is going to be 5100 again, so I can actually make 100 more groups and I would have 5100. I would use 5100 more of my dividend, which would leave me with 204. Well, I know 50 and 50 is 100, and then 50 and 50 is another 100, so I should be able to work with the number 4. And 4 times 51, which I can do that over here, is actually 204. So there is no remainder here. I can use all of my dividend to go into the groups evenly. And then what I have is partial quotients, 100 and 104. Well, if I add all of those together, I get 204, and that tells me the answer to my problem. That is the quotient. The quotient is 204. If you have any questions about this example, please make sure to ask me. So you are going to want to write down everything in this example as well, and it will be in red to remind you of that. And we are going to now look at the standard algorithm for long. All right, so our problem that we are doing for example 2 here is 245 divided by 20. So I need to figure out how many times I can subtract 20 from 45. So I'm going to write it as my division problem with the dividend in my division box and my divisor outside. And so I'm just going to subtract 20 until I don't have enough to subtract anymore. So that's once, twice, here's 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, see, I'm going to have to continue over here, so I'm continuing from my 145. And I'm going to continue from my 45. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, and then I have 5 left over. So my answer is 12, remainder 5. So we're still going to look at 245 divided by 20, only now we're going to use partial quotients, which instead of subtracting 20 by itself each time, we're going to use bigger groups. So I'm going to have 245, my dividend inside, and my divisor outside. Well, I know that 100 is going to be too much, so 100 times 20 would be 2,000. So I'm just going to do times 10 because 10 times 20 would be 200. That's 10 20s. And so then I'm left with 45. And I know 2 times 20 is 40. And then I'm left with 5. So then I add this together and I get 12. And I still have a remainder of 5. And again, we're still doing 245 divided by 20, but now we're going to do it with the standard algorithm. So 245 divided by 20. Again, if I look at the hundreds, I know that 20 times even 100 is going to be 2,000. Well, I don't have that many to work with, so there's not going to be anything here. But if I look at if I look at 24 or 240, then I know that I can do 1 because 110, 10 times 20 is 200. So this would be 20, which really is times 10, so 100. And that's where we're bringing down the 5. And now I know that 2 times 20 is 40. And I have my 5 left over. And there is my standard algorithm. And this is an R. There we go. Make sure if you have any questions about anything in this lesson that you come and ask me.